Today we made French toast cups. These were really easy to make and the kids loved them. So first you're just going to crack your eggs into a separate bowl. I did about 5 eggs. This is where Georgia helps. She did have a little meltdown and wanted to crack more eggs. I didn't show that part. And I also added a cup of milk to this as well. And then you're going to add some vanilla. You can really use whatever kind of French toast recipe that you like. I'm just going really basic here. And then I added some cinnamon and sugar. I added about 3 tablespoons of cinnamon and sugar. So it's like 3 tablespoons of sugar with 2 teaspoons of cinnamon in that. And then you're going to cut up about 12 pieces of bread. You can use whatever bread you want. I just had white bread at home, so that's what we used. You're going to spray your muffin pan really well with some oil so everything doesn't stick. And then you're just going to scoop those into your cups just like this. And then I topped it with a little bit more of the cinnamon and sugar. You could use fruit or whatever you want to. And then you're going to bake those at 350 for about 25 minutes. If you want it a little crispier, you can go even longer with it. We love these. They were really easy to make, and we topped them with powdered sugar and some syrup. I definitely recommend giving these a try. Let me know if you do. Today for dinner, I made cheesesteak stuffed shells with a creamy provolone cheese on there. This was delicious. I highly recommend. This is everything you're going to need. Some jumbo shells, some of the shaved steak, some bell peppers, minced garlic, milk, flour, an onion, some provolone cheese, butter, and then you're going to need some Worcestershire sauce as well. All right, you're going to chop up those peppers and onions. And then I took this shaved steak that I found at Aldi, and then I'm going to cut this up a little bit more so it all fits in my shells. You're going to cook those shells till al dente. Now you're going to cook all that meat, bell peppers, and onions all together. And then you're going to throw some minced garlic in once that meat's about done cooking, and then add a few tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And you're going to set that aside when it's all done cooking. Now you're going to make your cheese sauce, which is 3 tablespoons of butter melted, and then you're going to add 4 tablespoons of flour. Whisk that up really well, and then you're going to add 2.5 cups of milk to this. Keep whisking, and then add some salt and pepper here. And now you're going to add your cheese. I did around a cup or so of provolone cheese. Just kind of try it as you go, see if you need any more or less. I just used the slice like kind you use for a sandwich because I couldn't find shredded. All right, then you're going to whisk this up, and then I added some more of that seasoning to the cheese. Now you're going to stuff those shells. Lena helped with stuffing the shells, so it did not take as long. And now you're going to add your cheese sauce to the shells, just like this. And then I also topped it with a little bit of Colby Jack cheese, and then you're going to cover this and bake it at 350 for about 30 minutes. Uncover it for another 5 to 10 minutes until it's all nice and golden and bubbly, and it was amazing. Today I made the best chicken nuggets I have ever had out of pancake batter. They were incredible. There are only a few ingredients and really easy to make. All you need is pancake mix, 2 pounds of chicken, some seasoning, and oil. So you're going to cut that chicken into small cubes, about 1 inch or so, maybe a little smaller. Don't make them too thick either because you want to make sure they get done. So they needs to be thin. All right, and then you're going to season those. I seasoned mine with smoked paprika, salt and pepper, and I think cayenne would have been great in there. I just didn't do it. I wish I would have. And then you're going to make that pancake batter per the package directions. Dip that chicken in the batter and then kind of get the excess off with the fork, and then just set it in the oil. The oil is at 325. I found this to be the best temperature. 350 I thought would maybe been a little too hot. Eventually I just threw all the chicken into that bowl too with the pancake batter, and then just took out the pieces like this. It was even easier. These really were the best chicken nuggets I have ever had. It's kind of like a funnel cake with chicken. I don't even know how to explain it, but incredible. I dipped mine in some honey mustard, and we got syrup for the kids, but they were also dipping it in barbecue and ranch. These were incredible. I hope you guys try these. Today I made these delicious steak bowls with potatoes and green beans and a creamy garlic parmesan sauce. These were incredible and my husband's favorite. He is more of a meat and potatoes kind of guy, so this was right up his alley. First I cut in half these baby yellow potatoes. It was about 1.5 pounds. And then I'm going to spray those with some oil and then season them really well. I used garlic powder, onion powder, and some pepper. And then you're going to bake these at 425 degrees for 20 minutes. And then you're going to take these out and then put it again in for another 20 minutes with some green beans. Now you're going to cut your steak. I use some New York strip steaks, but you definitely can use whatever steak cut you want. And then you're going to put some oil on those and then season them how you'd like, and then sit them out while everything is cooking. This is where I threw those green beans into the oven, and then you were going to make your garlic parmesan sauce. So it's 1 stick of butter melted with a couple tablespoons of minced garlic, and then add a half of a cup of Parmesan cheese, and then whisk that really well till everything's nice and melted. Add a tablespoon or so of Italian seasoning, a pinch of red pepper flakes, and then 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Mix this up really well till nice and smooth, kind of like this. And then in that hot pan with some oil, you're going to add your steak. This will only take a few minutes to cook. I cook mine more of a medium rare, so if you want it a little longer, cook it longer. Altogether, mine was like 3 minutes cooked. You're gonna add this all to your bowl and then spread on that garlic Parmesan sauce. This was amazing. I hope you guys love it. Really easy dinner tonight. The kids have practices and games, so it is crock pot tortellini. This one is really easy to make and so delicious. First, you're gonna cook a pound of ground beef and throw that into your crock pot. And then a softened block of cream cheese. You can cut this up some too. And then this bag of cheese tortellini. Then 1 large jar of marinara, and then 1 jar of Alfredo sauce. This will only take a couple hours in the crock pot. I like to do this around lunchtime, so right when the kids are home from school, they're gonna eat dinner and then we're off to the games. Hope you guys love this one. Let me know if you give it a try. Today I made orange chicken in the crock pot. It's one of my kids' favorites. So first I took 2.5 pounds of chicken and I cubed mine up. You're gonna put about half of a cup of cornstarch in there, and you're gonna stir this all up so everything is nice and coated, just like this. And then you're gonna get a hot pan with some oil and just brown that in there for about 3 minutes or so. You just want a nice little crust on those. And you're gonna toss them back into your crock pot. You don't have to do that step if you don't want to, but it tastes a lot better. All right, and then you're gonna take this whole jar of orange marmalade and you're gonna put that in there. All right, and then you're going to add low sodium soy sauce. I did about 3/4 cup of this. And then you're going to add a teaspoon of ginger. I think I did a little too much there, but that's all right. And then I did a tablespoon of sesame oil and a big scoop of minced garlic. And then 1.5 tablespoons of rice vinegar. And then a few teaspoons of red pepper flakes. You don't have to do this step at all if you don't want any kind of spice to it. Stir that up really well till everything's nice and combined. And then you're gonna pour this over your chicken that's in the crock pot, mix that up a bit, and then I cooked mine on low for about 3 hours. I love making this meal because I can make it all around lunchtime, and then right when the kids get out of school, they'll have dinner ready and all my dishes are already washed. Highly recommend. The kids always clean their plates with this one. Today we made these everything bagel bites topped with smoked sausage and peppers for lunch. These were incredible. We could not stop eating them. Perfect for dinner, lunch, or an appetizer, or even breakfast if you put a little egg on top of there. They are incredible and really easy to make. First, you're gonna take 2 bell peppers, half of an onion, these little bagels, smoked sausage, and then you're gonna have cream cheese and everything bagel seasoning. You're gonna coat your pan with a little oil, chop up those veggies really small, and also your smoked sausage into little cubes too. Then add that sausage and peppers to your hot pan and saute it just a few minutes until it's nice and kind of golden. Split those bagels in half and then spread with cream cheese, just like this. Harper actually did most of the work today, and then you're gonna spread with this everything bagel seasoning, just like this. Now you're gonna take that sausage mixture and put it right on top of your bagels. Then we air fried half of them and baked half of them to see which one we liked better. We air fried them at 400 degrees for 5 minutes and baked them at 450 for about 8 minutes. We like them air fried better, but they're great both ways. Highly recommend these guys. Let me know if you give them a try. Tonight for dinner, I made a cheeseburger hash brown casserole, and it was incredible. Everybody in the family loved it, and really easy to make. First, in a separate bowl, you're going to add 8 ounces of sour cream, and then 1 can of the cream of chicken. You're just going to stir this up really well, and then add your seasonings. You can add whatever you want, but I added some garlic powder, some onion powder, and then just some pepper. Stir this up again, and then you're going to add everything else in. So I did a bag of the frozen hash browns, Stir this up, and then 2 cups of cheese. I know I need a bigger bowl still. Stir this up too, and then you're gonna cook a pound of ground beef, and then I just put some burger seasoning and stuff in there when I cooked it, and then add that to your mixture. And you could add 1.5 pounds too. We just did a pound, but I could have used some more. Then you're gonna add that to a 9x13 pan. I sprinkled a little bit more cheese on there, and then I put the French fried onions on the top. And then I baked this at 350 for about 40 minutes. This turned out so delicious. Everybody loved it, and we're asking for seconds. Definitely give this one a try. Today for dinner, I made these crispy, creamy brown sugar pork chops. These were so easy to make, only a few ingredients. These were some of the best pork chops I've ever had too. First, you're going to take about 3/4 cups of each of these ingredients, Italian style breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, and then brown sugar. You're just going to put that in a dish and then mix that all up. And then I was going to use an egg, but didn't have any, so I'm using mayonnaise, which made this nice creamy kind of base on there too. It was really good. You're going to dip those in and get everything nice and coated really well. And then bake these at 425 for about 25 minutes. They turned out so good. They were a little bit crunchy in pieces and creamy at the same time, but they were amazing. I hope you guys give this one a try, and I hope you love it. Today I made these crazy delicious Big Mac twice baked potatoes. They were incredible. It tasted like the Big Mac and the fries all in one. First, you're going to start off with making that Big Mac sauce. I do a cup of mayonnaise, a tablespoon of mustard. It's supposed to be regular mustard, but I don't have any. 3 tablespoons of the sweet relish, a little bit of pickle juice in there, and then garlic powder, onion powder, and smoked paprika. You're going to stir that up really well and then set that aside for the end. And now you're going to make 1 pound of ground beef with onion all chopped up, and then you're going to bake those potatoes separately. And then just scoop out the inside just like this until there's a nice little ridge around it too. After you drain that meat, you're going to season it however you'd like. And then with the insides of those potatoes, you're gonna add about a cup or so of shredded cheese, some salt and pepper, a couple tablespoons of softened butter, and then about 1/2 cup of sour cream. You're gonna add that meat to the potatoes too, and then about 1/2 cup or so of the Big Mac sauce, maybe a little more. Stir that all up really well, and then you're gonna put that mixture back into your potatoes, and then top with a little bit more cheese, and then bake it at 400 degrees for about 20 or so minutes. Top with more of that Big Mac sauce and some chopped pickles. You have to try this one. Today I made these amazing pretzel Parmesan creamy pork chops. I am obsessed. I love to make pork chops all different ways. This is definitely one of my favorites so far. To make these, first I took 6 of these medium-ish cut pork chops, and I just seasoned it with a little pepper. You can season however you want. And then I took about 3/4 cups of mayonnaise, a 1/2 cup of this spicy brown mustard, and you can just use regular Dijon if you want. Mix that together really well and then set that aside. And then I took about 1.5 cups of pretzels, and I crunched those up as good as I could. And then about 3/4 cups of Parmesan cheese. You're just going to put that mixture onto your pork chop. I put this on pretty thick, and then you're just going to dip it in that pretzel mixture just like this. It all sticks really well. Just going to put that all onto your baking sheet, and you want to grease that just a little bit. You're going to spray a little oil on top of those and then bake them at 425 for 25 minutes, covered half the time. These were delicious. I hope you guys give them a try.